Okay, so salute to that boy Donovan, Mr. Gordon, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Married Man. Salute to yourself. So, yesterday you tagged me in a picture and challenged me basically to give some advice to the ladies, you know what I'm saying? And relationship advice. And, I have a lot to say, but I'm going to try to condense it into a quick 5 minutes, okay? I'm not going to go, all counselor and all of that stuff on you. But the number one advice, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start at number one. The number one advice I would like to give any woman out there that's in a relationship with a man, whatever your situation is, married, single, whatever it um, is try your best to get to know the person that you're with. And don't let people tell you who that person is. Don't assume who that person is. Don't create any scenarios. Don't do none of that. Okay? You want to find out from that person who that person is, ask them. Okay? Ask them, talk to them, get to know them inside out. Okay? Because I think a lot of relationships get into trouble when people start to decide in their mind who that individual is and then start to react to that person based on what they're thinking in their head instead of trying to get a true assessment of what that person really is or who that person might be. Okay, so the number one advice is to get to know that person and then you deal with that individual in whatever respect. You know what I'm saying? And don't take your old baggage and bring it to the new situation because people are individuals. You know what I'm saying? The needs and the wants of each person are different. You know what I'm saying? For example, myself. Okay? I'm married. Okay? If I was looking for a relationship, you know what I'm saying? The first thing I would want, you know what I'm saying, is a woman that is emotionally connected with herself and emotionally there for me. Okay? That is important to me. That is, sometimes comes even more important than sex. Okay? In most cases, in other scenarios, other brothers might want a woman who could cook because they don't necessarily need emotional connections or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some men might want a woman who is more emotionally stable. You know what I'm saying? Because they themselves is in emotional turmoil. So the number one thing I say, get to know that person and deal with that person from their perspective and don't create any thoughts in your head. Okay? The second advice that I would say is that in any relationship that you get into with an individual, ladies, just make sure that you understand that people change over time. People change in relationships. And this here is for, salute to my boy, Mr. Gordon. I'm going to tell you this. You got married this year. The person that you are this year, you're not going to be 5 years from now. You know what I'm saying? You're going to change, okay? And, when people give out advice in relationship, they tell you like, oh, you need to be there for that person. You need to be emotionally, you need to be all of this stuff. Very rarely do anyone shout out and say, hey, remember that you have to brace yourself for the person that individual that you're with might turn into the next 5, the next 4 or 6 years or whatever time people change. Okay? So you always have to keep that room to say like, okay, I know that my partner used to like going to this spot, but as the individual grows, mature in mind, body, spirit, and soul, okay, he or she doesn't, he doesn't like to do whatever he used to do or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure that you keep, room in your relationship for change, for growth. And sometimes it's not always growth. Sometimes it's digression. You know what I'm saying? There's regression. You know what I'm saying? People was going good, then they change. Same thing. Keep a little open mind for whatever change comes. Okay? The third thing I would say is that one must always try their best to, have some form of spiritual foundation. Okay? For me, I go to church and I pray. Okay? Some people might like yoga. You know what I'm saying? Some people might, want to go back to some of the doctrines of, the whole, of some African proverbs, and go back to some of the thinking process of our ancestral tribes and all of these things. Whatever it is that you do, I think that there must be some form of spiritualism going on in your life, whether it might be biblical based, Quran based, Hindu based, whatever it is that you're doing. Don't just rely on, oh, I'm just living. There must be some form of foundation for you. Okay? And the last thing I'm going to say is that you should always, as much as you can, try to talk to people. Mother, father, brother, sister, whomever it might be. And I know conventional wisdom always say, whatever goes on in my relationship, I keep to myself, is between me and my partners, and blah, blah, blah. But no man is an island, okay? We all need inputs at times. But the thing is now, you have to judge what kind of input those inputs are, okay? Because there are people who will come and smile in your face, okay? But deep down inside, they want to destroy your relationship. They want to destroy your situation. They want to cripple your family life, okay? And these people come in forms of fathers, mothers, sisters, cousins, friends, ex-boyfriends, ex-girl, whatever, okay? So you now have to have some form of wisdom or discernment to decide what kind of advice you're going to take from whomever. And you got to decide who is it that you're going to talk to about your relationship or whatever advice you're going to take. Okay? Because like I said, not everybody that smiles with you, okay, really likes you. Okay? A lot of people come with you, you go and you ask them questions like, oh, what you think I should do about this? And they'll give you advice. But their advice is so that your relationship could go down. So you have to decide now you have to decide who you're going to talk to, and after you get that advice, how exactly you're going to apply it. Because not everything people tell you is good for you. Not everything people subscribe to is good for you. You have to know your situation. But in the end of the day, though, make sure that you talk to people. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, make sure you know what is it that you can take and what is it that you have to leave there. All right? So that is my 2 cents for the ladies. I hope that, I was able to teach you guys or something. But, those are my 4, rules for relationship advice to the ladies. Okay? Salute to my boy Donovan. You know what I'm saying? I'll continue to wish you nothing but happiness, love, and respect in your marriage. And, hope to continue to hear good and great things from you, my brother. Take care. And whenever you come to New York, remember, you got to hit me up. We got to hang out, talk, and, just politics. All right? Take care, my brother.